I studied mechanical engineering, and after that I started working in my dad's company. And my dad's company made metal detectors for aggregate and mining companies for heavy industries. By the early 90s, the product liability law in Germany was changed, and so food companies had to give evidence that they did everything to avoid foreign bodies in the food. From that point on, they suddenly needed foreign device control measures, for example, a metal detector. These metal detectors were already common in England and in America, where they had these kind of product liability laws, but it was new in Germany. And so I started to develop a metal detector for that purpose. My dad's existing metal detectors were not at all suitable for that. The metal detector I developed was fully digital through and through. Because I started in the digital ages in the 90s, CPUs were already very common. While all the competitors from England, by that time, they were 100% analog. And the advantage of a digital metal detector versus an analog metal detector is a digital metal detector is fully stable. It doesn't need an annual calibration service, for example. It automatically self-calibrates every time you switch power supply on. So it has like an endless stability over decades. Once this metal detector was available as a prototype, I asked my dad if I could do my own company with that, and he wasn't happy about it, but he agreed, and he gave me 50,000 Deutschmarks by that time as a start capital. But he was a little bit proud that I started my own company. Yeah, and once the company was started, I had to find customers, which was more difficult than I thought. And one of the first customers I found was a chicken meat factory, and they had the problem that they processed chicken meat and ran it through a freezing tunnel, and the conveyor through the freezing tunnel was made of stainless steel wires, and sometimes some of the wires broke off and stuck in the meat. And so they had to find these wires, and our metal detector perfectly fulfilled that job. And so that was one of our first metal detectors.